Boom. That's how you start off a live stream. Okay. We're live right now, guys. Just to explain to you what we got going on. I have Papa Shrimp in my chat right now. We're doing StreamYard. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to figure this crap out. Papa Shrimp is a Florida State man. He's a real Florida State man. Okay. And so,
Florida State man.
And what we have right now is we're about to bring you guys just a schedule preview of the SEC West. So, first team that we're going to start off with is hit it, Mr. Papa Shrimp.
Mississippi State.
Okay, I'm going to let him go first on the first couple of teams, and then I'll go first on the next, or we can alternate however he wants to do it. But you're welcome to lead the floor now.
All right, so we're basically how it's going to go. Mississippi State last year, 4-7 overall, 3-7 in the SEC. This is Mike Leach's. I think that was his first year or his second year.
Last year was his first year. Yep.
Okay, so we're going into Mike Leach's second year, and last year they were terrible, except for the opener. The opening game, they threw about like 600 something passing yards against LSU, and they won it. But that was about all they did last year. They couldn't move the ball on offense. The ground game was terrible, and their offense averaged just like 240 yards per game with no passing attack whatsoever, and the turnovers were everywhere.
Agreed. What I'm looking forward to with Mississippi State is, one, I know he's going to have to recruit way ahead of his, I guess, not his pay scale, but guys, he used to be at Washington State. So now he just has to get adjusted to SEC recruiting and realize there's a lot of players out there that don't mind coming to him to play, especially if you're a passing attack in the SEC. Because what does that mean? Hey, now they're bringing West Coast to SEC. If I want to be a receiver and just go and catch the ball 20 times a game, guess where I'm going? You see, so he can make it happen. He just he's got to adjust. Go ahead, though.
So they're returning. So they obviously they lost KJ Costello, the quarterback, to the draft.
Yep.
But other than that, they lost a couple receivers to the transfer portal. But most of the main ones they used last year, and 3 out of the top 4 wideouts are back, and they've got a lot from the transfer portal coming in too. But one of the best receivers that they had last year was a true freshman. His name is Jaden Wally. And he led all wide receivers with 52 catches. And he was one of the few targets who can make things happen downfield last year. Yep. And then they have 2 6'3" upperclassmen, Malik Heath and Austin Williams. Well, they're not upperclassmen, but they're going to be upperclassmen, I guess. Yeah. And they're more downfield threats. But in a Mike Leach offense, that's what you want.
Yes.
But this year, for Mississippi State to be good, I think it's going to start with the offensive line, and I'm going to say that about every single team because it starts with the O-line on every single team. But in a Mike Leach offense, I think it makes the O-line look better than what they are because it's so fast.
Yeah, you're right. And also, I'll add to that, you got Charles Cross, who's an offensive lineman from Mississippi State that made the second-team preseason All-American team.
Yeah, and they're returning. They have like some good returners too. They didn't, and it says like you just said, Charles Cross at left tackle.
Yep.
But yeah. So the O-line needs to improve for Mississippi State to be good again. And talking about running backs, they really weren't used as much because it's a Mike Leach offense. It's an air raid offense.
Yes.
But, their leading rusher last year was a true freshman. His name was Jaquavius Marks, and their second option, Dylan Johnson, they both can catch, but he's more like a power runner for the ground game. So they returned them.
One thing I am excited to see too, though, I've talked about this with Papa Shrimp several times. The NFL guys, not every team has the same scheme, whether it's defensive or offensive. A lot of teams carry different schemes, different play styles, different personnel. So having Mike Leach in the SEC is actually crazy. Oh, yeah, my bad, bud. I didn't see him The thing, yes. But having Mike Leach offense, the one thing that I've understood is with that kind of scheme now, like the first thing that hits me is how many offensive linemen that are great at pass blocking are going to go there. Like, I mean, that's because there's teams in the NFL that don't run but 10 times a game. And it's like, excuse me, if you're Tennessee Titans, you probably don't want to go there if you're a pass blocker because they do nothing but run the ball. So, I'm just saying it's really based off of personnel. Now, I know in the NFL you'll be asked to do both, but if you're a freshman and you're looking for immediate playing time, whether you're a receiver or an offensive lineman that's a pass blocker, then it's like that's who you're trying to go after. That's you're trying to. But there's ways around it. If you want to go to a Georgia and you want to develop at both, that's why it's college football. You choose to do what you want to do.
Okay, now I guess moving on to the defense, they're returning pretty much everybody on defense, and all the good players too. Like they're returning really good linebackers, and the leading tackler. Well, the leading tackler of the team, Eron Thompson, is gone, but there's a lot of size and options to work with there, and the D line. Tyrus Wheat, he had 30 tackles in 9 games, but he led the team with 5 sacks, and then Aaron Brule, who's a 230-pound defensive end, led the team with 8.5 tackles for loss and was second with 77 tackles on the team.
Dang. I see you, boy.
And then they also have a junior on the D-line, Jaden Crumedy, back. He's the nose guard. And then they're getting a really good pass rusher, Randy Charlton from UCF from the transfer portal. So their D-line might be legit this year.
Before we do completely move on from Mississippi State, I do want you to tell me what is your season prediction for Mississippi State, and then I'll let Mike Vick give his season prediction for Mississippi State as well.
I think year 2 under Mike Leach, I think 5-7. No, okay. I'm gonna give you the floor and the ceiling. I think floor 3-9, ceiling 7-5.
Okay, saying if they get hot, they could probably pop off.
But my prediction will probably be around 5-7.
Okay. What do you think, Mike Vick? What do you think the seasonal standing will be for Mississippi State?
Hold on, I think I had written it down. Yeah, I think I have them going 7-5.
Okay, so you're shooting for the ceiling as well for Mississippi State. Yeah, I'm high on Mike Leach, just because watching the respect that he got from Kirby his first year as a coach. Y'all, Kirby didn't do anything but run straight zone the entire game. He let them have the underneath passes. He let them have this, let them have that, because he knows that Mike Leach is a deadly specimen when it comes to running against a man defense. So, definitely Mike Leach gets his respect from the greats. It's just once he gets his recruits in, it's going to be a lot harder to stop him, even if you are running zone the whole game.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I guess we'll move on from the state of Mississippi
to the state of Arkansas.
To the state of Arkansas. We'll do it.
We have the Arkansas Razorbacks, whose second year under Sam Pittman. They went 3-7 last year. And in my opinion, I think we're going to see tremendous strides in Arkansas's offense. And again, for every team, it starts with the offensive line.
Yep.
But having Sam Pittman as your coach, I guess, helps your offensive line tremendously.
Especially when he's one of the greatest offensive line coaches in the nation right now. And I do want to say this. Their second game, they play Texas. I can bet anybody on YouTube that Arkansas will be hitting them with that horns down. I can bet it.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you Arkansas might whip that butt, too.
I really think they will. I've talked to Texas fans that say that they're kind of worried about that game.
That's right. I think I have Arkansas upsetting Texas. So.
There you go. And I know in our eyes it's not that.
I think I had that when I did my prediction for Arkansas.
Got you. Hit us with the players.
But on Arkansas's offense, last year, they had Felipe Franks at quarterback, the transfer from Florida, but they lost him to the draft this year. He was a big part of the passing game, and with him at quarterback, Arkansas averaged 26 points per game and 400 yards of offense per game.
Nice.
Yeah, except he didn't He didn't get drafted though.
Yeah, but he's with the Falcons, isn't he?
Yeah,
He
he
got
was
he got undrafted. He was
free
assigned.
agent.
Yeah.
UDFA
Undrafted free
Falcons.
agent.
Well, I'll just let you guys know. AJ McCarron went down, and the Atlanta Falcons have just signed Josh Rosen
Yeah.
from the free agency, and I couldn't be happier. Like, no, I mean, I know there's other quarterbacks that I would have loved for us to
you
get.
for real? We signed Josh Rosen.
Yes, who, in my opinion, is better than.
Well,
So-
I still think that that Franks is still going to be the backup to Matt Ryan.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he will because of his. I agree. I think because of where he's coming from out of SEC, but I know Josh Rosen has a freaking cannon, so it'd be nice if he could compete for that. It'd make Felipe Franks better.
Yeah, AJ McCarron tore his ACL
On a non-contact play.
No, it was not non-contact, but it was contact. But
what's it called? I'll say what I heard Papa Shrimp saying earlier. KJ Jefferson, who'll be the quarterback for Arkansas. I think a lot of people are looking forward to him because if you guys don't know, the last time Arkansas had a quarterback who was decent, his name was Ryan Tannehill. They had two running backs to go along with Mr. Tannehill that had 1,000 yards apiece. You want to know who the offensive coordinator was? Sam Pittman. So, yeah.
Sam Pittman.
Sam Pittman.
Sam Pittman. Good.
So,
you're frozen.
Who, me?
No, Tiger.
I know that was me.
I
said me.
Yeah, you're frozen, Tiger.
Really?
Yeah.
Am I frozen now?
Yeah, you're fine now. Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so you pretty much covered what I had about key players. I was talking about KJ Jefferson, the redshirt freshman. I think he'll have a breakout year. And they also have a receiver named Traylon Knox, and I think that he's going to be one of the best receivers in the whole SEC.
You said what?
They have a receiver named Traylon Knox, and then I think I'm going to predict that he's going to be top 5 receiver in the SEC.
Nice. Okay. Uncle Lou would go live early and not give us any time on here. Here it is. Oh, and another thing, what I think is funny, AJ Green is a running back for Arkansas. I thought that was crazy.
What?
But yeah, I look forward to Arkansas being a very deadly team due to the fact that their coach has way more experience than a lot of SEC coaches right now.
Yeah.
You want to go to the defense?
Yeah, the defense, they are returning they're returning a pair of linebackers who had 212 combined tackles. Their names are Grant Morgan, and my personal favorite name, Bumper Pool.
Dang.
Yeah, Bumper Pool.
Bumper Pool, he's going to be a good linebacker for Arkansas. But for Arkansas to have a complete defense, the D line needs to see improvement. And they have the returner who led the team in sacks, or like the returner coming back this year, like the leading returner only had 2.5 sacks.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to need to see some improvement.
True, and I think a lot of that will come from incoming freshmen or redshirt freshmen. I don't
know if they got any transfers, but
no, that's true. It's just that's what I'm noticing with some of these teams is they're having to promise playing time just to get a lot of guys there, which is okay. It's perfectly fine. I'm just saying It's going to take them a little bit to build, especially when you have teams like Texas A&M and Alabama in your conference, and LSU with a stacked freaking recruiting class over the last couple of years, but some reason just crap the bed. Is there a prediction you guys want to give on Arkansas? I know Vic already has his.
So I think I had them going 6-6.
I was about to say that. I think the offense is going to be stellar. I think the defense will need to see improvement again next year. but I got them going. I got them going six, or I'm gonna say ceiling 6-6. The floor is probably 4-8.
Okay. I'm going to go through, and I think this may help too, going through the games. I mean, not all the way through, but just quick. I'll have them over Rice. I'm going to pick them over Texas for the upset. I'm picking them over Georgia Southern. Texas A&M will probably wax that tail. Georgia will wax that tail. Mississippi will wax that tail because they're going to score 741 points in that one game.
Lane Kiffin. With Lane Kiffin.
Yes, I do not know about that Auburn game because I know Auburn has recruits, but I want to pick Arkansas to beat Auburn.
Hey, I got you. I got your prediction.
Yeah, I've got Auburn now. I've got Arkansas. I've got Arkansas beating Auburn. That's right.
Okay, what you think, Papa Shrimp, on that game?
I think Auburn over Arkansas, and the only reason I say that is I think Tank Bigsby is going to have a field day on Arkansas's defense.
True, because we just named, we just called out that Arkansas doesn't have an experienced defense. That's a tough one. That'd be a good game. Arkansas versus Pine Bluff, I got them over them. Arkansas versus Mississippi State. Woo!
I got Mississippi State in that one.
I've got Arkansas on that one.
Dang, both of y'all are flipped on both of those games. That's a tough one. I think Mississippi State may walk away with it. That's another toss-up. I'm going to go LSU over Arkansas. I think they're going to get their crap together. Alabama versus Arkansas. I'm going to go Alabama.
Yeah.
And then
Alabama's going to wax Arkansas.
Missouri versus Arkansas is kind of a toss-up, but I want to go Missouri.
I'm going to go Missouri too.
Yeah, Mizzou. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like that. I do like that.
Mizzou.
All right. Next team we got Mississippi. This is going to be a little fun.
The Ole Miss Rebels. I think Ole Miss last year 5-5, 4-5 in SEC play. Their second-year head coach Lane Kiffin. I think he's going to get his crap together this year.
Yeah.
For sure. Ole Miss is going to be one of the better teams in the SEC West. Probably, I'm going to say top 4.
Okay.
It's going to be a competition, though. Last year they went 5-5, but their offense was, they ran for a lot, and
a lot of their rushing yards came from the quarterback. Probably the last 2 years we've seen that, and with different quarterbacks.
And how many games that they played were shootouts?
I don't know, but I get where you're going with that. And that's the one thing, guys, that you don't realize. Ole Miss is that team that they will always put you in a shootout on offense if you score points. If you don't, you're going to get put on ESPN for getting blown out by Ole Miss because they're not going to stop scoring points. Lane Kiffin is a mastermind. So with him, it's just slowing him down. It's the same way it was with Mike Leach as far as, not allowing the deep ball. Just playing zone and letting them get the underneath.
In Lane Kiffin's first year last year, they were third in the nation in total offense, averaging 556 yards and 39 points per game. Wow. And I think it's only going to grow from there. I think this year, Ole Miss, I don't think their defense is going to be stellar, but I think Ole Miss's offense is going to put up insane numbers.
I agree 1,000% on that, dude. I agree 1,000%. What's crazy to me, I thought John Ross Plumlee was going to transfer after this past year when he wasn't named the starting quarterback. Because if you guys don't remember, 2 years ago, John Ross Plumlee ran for almost 300 yards rushing on LSU?
Yeah.
That was an amazing game. That's probably one of the most amazing games I've seen from a quarterback on the ground like that.
And last year they led the SEC in the running game.
It doesn't surprise me. And they do, even though they run the spread just like Mississippi State does, they run a lot more from it. It's a lot more read option.
The crazy thing is they are returning the top 3 contributors to that. They're returning Matt Corral, the quarterback, who's one of the best statistical quarterbacks in the nation. Returning speedback Jaron Ely and a 215-pound junior. His name is Snoop Connor. And
Snoop.
Yeah, that running game will be deadly.
What'd you say? That what?
I said Snoop Dogg.
The running game will be good.
One person I do want to call out is we had a guy transfer from Georgia about 2 years ago who I think is about to come into his own. His name is Otis Reese. He's a DB on here. He played linebacker for us and a little bit of safety.
That's right. Yeah, and then he left. Yeah, he left because he said that Athens was too racist. So
I think he was saying that to kind of get immediate eligibility, but I think he was chasing playing time.
He went there. I know, because he's like, Athens, Georgia, is too racist. So I'm going to go to school in Oxford, Mississippi.
Yeah. Come on now. You ain't go to Oregon. You went deeper. You got to walk around with a damn white hood on whenever you walk in Oxford, Mississippi. So I don't want to hear all that. We played travel ball in Oxford, Mississippi, and I can tell y'all it's a lot more racist than Georgia is, especially Athens.
Yeah.
But moving on to Ole Miss's defense now.
Yes.
Their defense was bad. Their defense was really bad last year. They were the second worst in the nation, allowing 520 yards and 38 points per game.
That sucks, dude.
That's worse than Florida. Yeah.
It's hard to be worse than Florida.
That is very hard to be worse than Florida.
They return a lot. They have really good interior defensive linemen, 320-pound junior KD Hill and 300-pound senior Hal Norwood.
Oh, okay. I just saw that one. I see the Sincere David. He's supposed to be a good one too. So apparently they have a few guys on the D line that came back, which is good.
And then they're actually Ole Miss's leading tackler, Jacquez Jones, transferred to Kentucky. But
I heard about that.
We have a senior whose name is Lakia Henry, and he's a 235-pound linebacker, and he can lay the boom when he hits.
Well, we're looking forward, like you said, to seeing Ole Miss step up this year, guys. It'd be nice. It'd be very nice because it'd make the SEC West better. And we'll get to the SEC East later. But, yes, as far as the SEC West, it's good to see Ole Miss stepping up.
But this, this Momo Sanogo. I like that name. Yeah.
Okay, Momo Sanogo. I like that.
One of their inside
swiping. Yeah. We're going to go to the games, and I'll go through them real quick. Louisville versus Mississippi. I've got Mississippi. They play Monday, guys, September 6th. They play the Monday after the September 4th Georgia-Clemson game, which is crazy to play on Monday, but it is what it is. Let's see. Austin Peay versus Mississippi. I got Mississippi putting up 7,455 yards on Austin Peay.
Yeah.
Mississippi versus Tulane. 7,455 yards on Tulane. Mississippi won that game. Mississippi versus Alabama. I'm going Mississippi. The only reason I'm going Mississippi.
Alabama.
And I get that. I think everybody would choose that. But Alabama almost got upset last year with a quarterback who went top 10 in the draft. Well, guess what? They ain't got no quarterback that's top 10 in the draft. Okay? So the thing is, Ole Miss, what they got? They still got their quarterback. So they're going to put up the same amount of points. Is Alabama going to put up the same amount of points? That's the thing. Yeah. Is Saban going to get pissed off because his freshman or his sophomore, whatever he is, out there making mistakes? So, that's kind of what I'm looking at is, I know they can score, but are they going to be able to consistently score? Because Alabama's defense is lesser than it has been. So,
yeah, I think their defense, that Ole Miss defense, is not gonna be any good. It's not.
I agree, but I think with Ole Miss, it doesn't matter if your defense is good or not. They still putting up 50.
Alabama's defense is going to be a little bit better than they were last year. So
I hope they are, just because it's Alabama, and it would make sense because they started off the season last year struggling. But if they aren't and they don't show up for that game, that's an L. That's the one game that I can truly say, okay, Alabama, like you effed up,
their defense has to show up.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good toss-up game. Arkansas versus Mississippi. Woo! I'm choosing Mississippi. Mississippi versus Tennessee. they'll bring Jeremy Pruitt back to coach that game.
Yeah.
Mississippi
Yeah,
State.
I disagree on the Arkansas. Yeah, I have Ole Miss beating Arkansas.
I was saying that. Yeah, I got. Oh yeah, I have Ole Miss beating Arkansas.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm choosing that. Just because I know Arkansas is still kind of filling themselves out on defense and offense. Mississippi at least has their offense going.
Yeah.
Mississippi beating Tennessee. I have Mississippi beating LSU. And I have Mississippi beating Auburn.
I don't.
Oh, you think Auburn's gonna beat them?
Yeah.
Okay. The only reason I say Mississippi's gonna beat Auburn is because Auburn does not have any consistency right now, and they have no stability. Because we don't know what kind of offensive scheme they're gonna run. We don't know what they're doing. They got first-year head coach. So that's kind of, I feel like if Ole Miss can almost beat Alabama, Ole Miss can definitely beat Auburn. Liberty, who we got?
Liberty.
Mississippi versus Liberty.
Ole Miss, yeah.
Ole Miss for sure.
Miss,
Okay. By 3 points, I got y'all. Mississippi versus Texas A&M.
Yeah, I do have them beating.
Ole Miss.
Y'all have both of y'all got Ole Miss? I'm going Texas A&M. I feel like Texas A&M's defense is way too strong. They had a lot of guys coming back, but that's another toss-up game. I got Ole Miss beating Vanderbilt, and then of course I got Ole Miss beating Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm. No, I got Mississippi State in that one.
It is a toss-up, so I don't blame you on that. Boom. Okay, guys, we are going up the chart. We are now at LSU.
LSU?
Yes, Mike Jones. Okay.
Huh?
So before we get to that, let's go ahead and we'll start off. Papa Shrimp, the floor is yours.
LSU last year.
LSU.
Coming off a national championship, I think LSU. Well, I don't think I know they underperformed last year. 5-5 in SEC, 5-5 overall. Mr. Ed coming into his sixth year, seventh year, something like that. Sixth year. Yeah, I think LSU is I think they're gonna get it together this year. I think they might be fourth in the SEC West. I don't think they're gonna be no great team, no top 25 team in the nation, but I think that they're gonna be decent. They're gonna make a bowl game.
Gotcha. Okay. I don't blame you on that. And the reason I say that is offensively, they only have to be average because their defense, as far as players go, recruits, roster, their defense is loaded. They have Derek Stingley at cornerback and Major Burns at cornerback, who guys, those are probably both first-round picks. Like, they're going to help solidify that defense. As far as offense, they had a freshman last year in Keyshawn Boudier, who that boy, he gonna be whooping some Boudier every single game. Like
Butte.
Butte. Well, he gonna be whooping some Butte every single game. Just watching him last year and watching highlights, guys, definitely a talented guy, and LSU does good at getting receivers the ball.
That's right. Yeah, he's gonna kick some Butte.
There you go. Yes. Yeah. And with the quarterback, I think we all saw in the spring game, Max Johnson, and there's another quarterback. I can't see him on here.
Miles Brennan.
Yes.
Yeah, Miles Brennan.
I think Miles Brennan and Max Johnson will both split the first game. They said that they named a starter, but so far
it is.
Do what?
But they named a starter, but we don't know who it is.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know who it is. I have a feeling, though, that we're going to see both quarterbacks in the first game. Just not to get over to it, but they're playing UCLA the first game. But I have a feeling we'll see both quarterbacks. Mike Jones is a linebacker for LSU. And their third-string cornerback is Elias Ricks, who is projected to go in the third round. You tell me you got 3 DBs that are about to go, 2 in the first round, 1 in the third round. Like, you definitely got something going on as far as defense. You got something going on. John Emery Jr., who was a running back for LSU, Georgia was trying to get him, just like Tank Bigsby. We tried to get him as well. And if you guys know Tank Bigsby, be whooping that tail when he plays. So John Emery Jr., I'm sure, is a good running back. It just we've got to see LSU put it together on offense. And LSU lost their biggest playmaker last year. I think his name was
Terrence Marshall.
I was going to say this guy. His name was Eric Gilbert, I think.
Oh, yeah.
For Georgia. Yes. So we welcome him over to the G. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, even though he's not with the team right now.
But he ain't with LSU.
No. And he's also not with Florida either.
There you go. I know you guys know this name. Cardell Thomas is an offensive lineman for LSU. That's another first rounder or early second round.
Yeah,
like I said, dude, they're loaded. LSU is loaded with talent.
That Eric Gilbert might have found out that Miss Mullen had an STD. Maybe that's why he didn't go to Florida.
Bro, I didn't think about that. And he's getting it cleared up or treated before the Clemson game. That makes sense, bro. That makes a lot of sense. Well, and I guess I didn't think about this, guys. Last year, whenever we had players on our team that got COVID, Kirby never came out with it. He just said that the players were dealing with personal issues. It would not surprise me one bit if that's what was going on with Eric.
Yeah.
That would not surprise. I have not thought about that. I don't know why I didn't think about that. But I remember last year we had players. You're not saying left and right, but players that did get it. What'd you say, bud?
Well, I've heard that he didn't. Get the vaccine or something. That was like one of the rumors. I don't know.
Got you. Okay. Well, all I know is he could not get the vaccine. He could have herpes spreading, and we would just tape it up and let him play. That's how good he is. So, anyways, what you got on LSU, Mr. Shrimp?
The same thing y'all were saying. Only thing that I've got against LSU right now is they lost Eric Gilbert, and then they lost offensive tackle Dare Rosenthal, who is definitely going to be a first round pick in the NFL draft.
Yeah, he's at Kentucky now.
Okay.
Yeah, he transferred to Kentucky. Yeah.
Caleb, the spelling bee man, has just subscribed to my channel. Thank you, Caleb. If you see this, you're special people, and I hope you're the spelling bee man next year.
Yeah, Caleb is good people. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to work out really hard this offseason to win that spelling bee. I got it. Push-ups and spelling bee champion right here, and 40-yard dash, and everything.
Let's move on to predictions for LSU.
Okay, let's do that. UCLA versus LSU. I'm picking LSU, and I picked them to win with such ease that they're able to solidify the quarterback competition and figure out who they want. Next, I will say McNeese State. LSU plays McNeese State almost every year, aside from the COVID year. They play them out. They got to know the administrator or something there. But I got LSU by 400 points.
Well, they're in the same state, so
that makes sense.
Yeah, and did you know that Coach O's son plays for McNeese?
Oh, so LSU gonna make it close.
He talked about that during SEC Media Day.
So you understood him? My son, McNeese State. Okay, that's cool, bro. That's all right. LSU versus Mississippi State. I'm going Mississippi State, like I said earlier. That's a tough game, and I know they got all that freaking talent. But
Mississippi State.
Yes, I'm going Mississippi State. Mike Tyson told me to go Mississippi State.
Me too. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Auburn versus LSU. Oh, I'm going LSU. Yeah. What you think, Papa Shrimp? LSU or Auburn?
I'm going Auburn.
Woo! That's a tough one.
Why? But I mean, Auburn hasn't won in Baton Rouge in like 20 years.
Yeah, but Auburn also the most surprising team that ever played the game of football.
In like 15 or 20 years.
True. Yeah, true.
Baton Rouge.
Well, and my hope
Auburn's going to be the worst team in the nation and still upset Alabama.
True. Well, and you got to think, if Auburn would have played at LSU last year, they would have beat them.
Yeah.
Just because LSU was struggling last year.
Yeah, but they didn't. No.
I think LSU.
I know you're right. I'm just saying they play there this year. So if LSU don't have their crap together, Auburn gonna go in there and steal a win.
But that's the thing. Though. I don't think LSU gets their crap together. I think the talent is too young. I think they have some decent talent that's older, like Stingley.
Yeah.
But I think they're just still too young of a team to beat Auburn, to beat Alabama.
Well, and it doesn't matter how good the defense is if the defense has to stay on the field the whole time. We saw that with Georgia.
And guess what Auburn's going to do to them? They're going to run the ball and tire the defense out.
I haven't, and I want to say that, but that's the part about Auburn I don't know with this new coach. I don't know what Auburn's going to look like. If he's smart, he's going to blend his offense with the previous offense so they don't look brand new. Because if he doesn't do that, then he's going to look stupid in the SEC.
Yeah.
LSU versus Kentucky. I'm going Kentucky with the upset.
I'm going LSU.
I'm going to
take Kentucky with the upset on that. Y'all going LSU? I don't blame you.
Florida versus Hey, Rosenthal, the offensive tackle, he's gonna get that revenge.
Oh,
actually, I don't know. Does he have to sit out a year? I think he does.
No. They passed the law already where you can transfer.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
This is another good one. Florida versus LSU. Megan Mullen versus LSU. Who you got?
LSU.
Dang, y'all gonna okay. Emory Jones, you ain't ish.
Nope, he ain't it.
LSU versus Ole Miss. I'm going Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Yeah,
I'm going Ole Miss on that. LSU versus Alabama. I'm picking Tom Hanks.
I'm picking Alabama.
Alabama.
I think Alabama's going to be stellar, and they're going to get upset by one team, though.
Yeah, one team, though.
Ooh, the A&M or Ole Miss?
The Auburns.
A&M.
Oh, if they get beat by Auburn, they get beat by more than just Auburn.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like the kick 6 year. They're going to lose to just Auburn. It's going to be by something stupid.
That would be nuts, dude. Like they'll let it be close the whole game and F around and mess up. Let's see. We got LSU versus Arkansas. I'm actually going to pick Arkansas due to the fact that I believe in Pittman. LSU's defense is good, but I do not know if their offense will have it together by then. I think Arkansas is an overall team. I think both their defense and offense will be a step ahead.
Yeah.
Not saying a step ahead above LSU, but a step ahead than where they were last year.
Yeah.
LSU versus Louisiana Monroe.
LSU, come on.
They better not get beat by Louisiana. And then Texas A&M versus LSU. I got Texas A&M waxing that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
We're doing good, though. All right, guys, we got 3 teams left. Stick with us. We'll try to, not saying speed it up, but these teams are a lot easier to talk about. So we're hitting Auburn, Texas A&M, and Alabama. We're going to start with Auburn. Papa Shrimp, we will let you have the floor, sir.
Auburn. Tigers. They're still salty about that 2013 national championship.
Yes, I believe they are.
Sir. By Florida State. Okay. Anyways, Auburn last year 6-5. Gus Malzahn gone. Brian Harsin his first year.
Yep. Agreed.
I don't know about Auburn. I really don't. It's gonna be hard because Gus Malzahn's a good coach. I don't know. Auburn's gonna have some struggles. Tank Bigsby's gonna be a solid part of their team,
and he needs to be. If you're a new coach coming in, you stick to your strengths.
Yep,
definitely stick to your strengths on that. You got Bo Nix, who will have the power of Bojangles and Milo's Sweet Tea behind him.
Hey, and the offensive line's returning 5 out of 5 starters.
Woo! Okay. Hey, and I mean that helps, guys. If you don't know, that helps.
They weren't good, but they're going to be experienced, and they're going to keep on keeping on. Defensive lines off Bo Nix.
Defensively, guys, Auburn returns a lot of people. One of my favorite names, Smoke Monday.
Oh yeah.
He's a good guy. He's a linebacker that they were able to transition into a safety. Boy can hit. Offensively, they got a transfer from Georgia, Demetrius Robertson, who runs a 4.3, a high 4.3 40, runs a low 10-second 100-meter dash. Boy, is lightning fast. So if they can find a way to really interpret him or mix him in with the offense with Tank Bigsby, then I think you have something going on for sure. just Auburn, like he said, like Papa Shrimp said earlier, they're a toss up. But I look for them to at least do something. We'll say, okay, here we go. We'll move on to the games. Unless you have something else, Papa Shrimp.
No, I don't got it. Well, I do got one more thing. The quarterback situation. I honestly don't know if Bo Nix will start.
Whew, to
They
get
got-
all the sponsorships and not start over TJ Finley would be crazy.
TJ Finley, he's like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I've noticed. I saw him in the spring game.
He's got a big arm,
and he's got a thicker body than Patrick Mahomes. He's solid.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yes, we're going to talk any about the defense or.
Yeah, hit me with it. What you got on defense?
Yeah, see, well, I do have two players I remember that we wanted. They were both in-state players. That Auburn ended up getting. I think they're both really good. Yeah, Owen Papo and Christian Tutt, and they also returned their leading tackler, Jacoby McLean. We already mentioned Smoke Monday. So
okay, Owen Papo. I didn't know he was still there.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's nuts, bro. Who is? Hold on, y'all. Somebody just tried to call me. Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna figure out who this is. Some crazy number just tried to call me.
So I guess we'll go ahead and get into the games then. So at first they play Akron. That's a win. That really shouldn't.
That's a blowout. That
shouldn't even be a game at all. So
nope.
I mean, Akron is terrible. So I mean, I think they've only won one game in the last 2 years. So
yeah, Akron is not the best team.
Nope. Yeah, and then next they've got Alabama State, and that's a win.
Yep.
And then let's see, next they are at Penn State, and yes, I have Auburn losing.
I got Penn State beating Auburn.
I think Penn State's gonna bounce back from last year. So, and then Georgia State, I do think this game could get interesting, but I still think Auburn wins it though. I think they're just.
I think Auburn wins it in a close game.
The better team. So
that was Talker's Pitt, by the way. He was upset about the conference realignment.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds like he needs to be talking. He needs to be calling Gold and Blue dude.
That's what I was thinking the same thing. Well, where am I at? Where did I just miss? What did I miss?
Okay, well, we're talking about Georgia State.
Where
the Georgia State game. Yeah.
With Auburn.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, and I had that as a win. And then at LSU, I have this as a loss. I mean, I think they've lost something like 8 in a row in Baton Rouge or something. So I think
I don't think that game will be more than a 10-point game. Either way.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good game.
Georgia versus Auburn. Who you guys got?
Georgia.
Let's go Dogs.
Yeah.
Auburn versus Arkansas. That's another toss up.
Yeah, I got
Arkansas.
I'm gonna go Arkansas too.
Okay. Ole Miss versus Auburn. I'm sorry, Auburn. I like you guys, but I feel like Ole Miss about to put up 1,000 points.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Auburn.
I'm gonna say Auburn has 2 miracle games. I'm gonna say
Ole Miss be one of them.
And I think Ole Miss and Alabama.
Okay. All right. Auburn versus Texas A&M. I'm taking Texas A&M over Auburn.
Yeah, I've got A&M. Yeah.
Okay.
A&M's gonna be really good.
I'll let Vic finish the last two. I'm gonna plug.
Then we got Mid-Tippy Tate. I have that as a win. And in South Carolina, I have that as a win, even though they lost to them last year. So I think I think that Auburn gets them back this year. Next, we've got the Iron Bowl. Yeah, I've got Bama in this one.
Woo. That's gonna be a good one.
I'm gonna take Auburn. Auburn tends to do it once in a blue moon. I think that this year is the blue
And
moon.
it always surprises us when they do. It's always the game where we're like, "Oh yeah, Bama's got this with ease," and then all of a sudden kick 6, and we're all like, "Oh my goodness!" Yeah, no, I know.
I think I think I'm gonna go ahead and make my prediction. It's gonna be bold. I think Auburn wins, and I think it comes that Bo Nix throws a pick on the last play, and the Auburn receiver hits the Alabama corner and makes them fumble, and they recover it for a touchdown.
The ball and then scores a touchdown. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds like something that would happen in an Auburn-Alabama game.
Mhm.
All right,
Pick 6 or the
Exactly.
cam back. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. The
cam
back.
back.
I like that. That sounds good. All right, guys, we're gonna move a little quicker now. We're going to Texas A&M, then we got Alabama. Texas A&M. What I will say is Texas A&M, one of the smartest football teams ever. One of the smartest teams in the state of Texas. Definitely the smartest team in the state of Texas. Sorry, Texas fans, but Texas A&M killed it. Okay, they went out and hired Jimbo Fisher, signed him to a long-term deal, a guy that's won a national championship, and a guy that knows how to put crap together. An offensive coordinator also knows his defense very well, and over these last couple of years, he has built a freaking powerhouse at a school nobody expected.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, we'll go down the list. Isaiah Spiller at running back will be drafted in the first round.
Yeah.
Don't know who the quarterback is yet. I feel they've named a starter.
He's going to be
Is it Haynes?
King. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Haynes King. Yeah.
And this is a pocket passer. We're used to seeing Jimbo Fisher with a dual threat. We're used to seeing him with a guy that can move around, but still.
Well, he got 7.2 yards a carry last year. So.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
He had 6 carries for 43 yards. So
and he didn't start last year.
Yeah, I don't know if he's dual threat, but he's mobile. So.
Okay.
Who was A&M's quarterback last year?
Say what now?
Who was A&M's quarterback? I feel like I know who it was, but I cannot remember.
Kellen Mond.
There it is. Yeah, he's been there for 7.5 years. He's
now he's Minnesota, isn't he?
But otherwise, I think they return their whole offense except Mond. So
yeah, for sure. Let's see what else we got. Offensive lineman wise, I know they have, I think, 2 or 3 starters coming back. They did lose a few to the draft. Their offensive line was stellar last year.
Yeah.
Wait, I think they lost 4 of their 5 starters on offensive line.
Oh, okay. Well, I meant at the skill positions.
Because right here I see they've only got 1 returning offensive lineman, Kenyon Green. What you got at skill position, Vic?
They got like their tight end, Jalen Weidermeyer. He's really good. I think he might be he'll be one of the best tight ends in the draft, I think. Let's see who else in wide receiver. They got Chase Lane. Let's see, Caleb Chapman. And Hezekiah Jones.
Hezekiah, he's got to be Amish.
Hezekiah Jones. That's right. And then this might really shock you, but did you know that last year A&M's leading receiver was a running back?
Whew. Well, with their offense though, it doesn't, because they're good at
Anais Smith. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. He had 500 yards receiving. So.
Dang. Well, will you give us? Do you have some statistics, Papa Shrimp?
The only thing I'm gonna say about A&M,
is
that I think A&M's gonna win the SEC West. I think they'll lose to Georgia in the SEC championship. I think Jimbo Fisher. I think for the next couple years, Jimbo Fisher is going to have a better team than Alabama has.
Oh, the way he's going right now, I can believe that. Yeah, they have an offensive lineman in Luke Matthews.
Jimbo is gonna kick Saban's ass.
They have Luke Matthews on the offensive line, who was another preseason All-American, and Isaiah Spiller was also one. So Texas A&M definitely loaded on the offensive side. Defensively, I can't name. I mean, I can see these names, but I can't think of any of these names that are just off.
Yeah, just
perfect.
a no-name defense. Yeah.
But their defense is loaded.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, when they used to call
Georgia
no-name, like in 2019. They call it. We were
top 5, top 3 defense, but nobody could. Yeah, exactly. We're no-name defense.
Yeah.
We'll go to the games real quick. We already know this. Texas A&M over Kentucky State, picking A&M. A&M picking them over Colorado. A&M picking them over New Mexico. Picking Texas A&M over Arkansas. Picking them over Mississippi State. Yeah. I'm gonna pick Texas A&M over Alabama. What do you guys got?
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I've got
A&M over Alabama too.
Yeah. Same. Got A&M over Missouri. I've got A&M over South Carolina.
Yeah.
A&M over all. Bro, A&M's going to start. They're going to be highly ranked, bro, because none of these games I see them getting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You see what I mean, bro?
Yeah.
That's like a lot of these games. Texas A&M versus Ole Miss. I see Texas A&M winning, but they're going to have to score. But Jimbo Fisher can do that. Jimbo Fisher to me is a more solid Lane Kiffin. He can score, but he also is good at defense. So, I definitely see that. Then it's got Texas A&M versus Prairie View. I'm gonna pick Texas A&M in that game. And
I
then
got Prairie View. No, I'm just
kidding. And then I've got A&M picking them over LSU. There's only a possibility they lose one game in that. So on to the undefeated Alabama Forest Gumpers. Starting with Bryce Young at quarterback, who already has almost reached $1 million NIL deal, or multiple NIL deals that match up to that, which is a lot to do with Saban and company having connections. They've got Kool-Aid McKinstry. I love that game. Who's a DB. John Mechie, who made the preseason All-American list.
Yeah, he signed. He signed a deal with Kool-Aid.
I saw that. I was very excited about that. You got Henry Toa. Yes, who transferred from Tennessee guys, was their best productive linebacker. Will now be playing for Alabama. We know he'll get playing time. You got Evan Neal for Alabama, who made the preseason All-American list. You've got Caden Clark, who is one of the top 10 tight ends in the nation. I can go down the list on this. It wouldn't matter. You guys know every year. Brian Robinson Jr. at running back, who will dominate. Anyways, Alabama is loaded. The only thing that we're looking for is how well their quarterback production will do. That's the one thing that they need. They are loaded everywhere else, but even Georgia, when we were loaded, we had Jake Fromm at quarterback who hindered us. So Bryce Young does not hinder Alabama, then we'll see another great season from him, but it is all riding on his shoulders. Shrimp, you have anything on Alabama as far as, I guess,
Alabama gets – wait. I haven't even looked at Alabama's schedule.
Well, I'll go through it. We can go through it. I was just wondering if you had anything on like the players or anything off the top of your head about the players.
No, you've really just said it all. Honestly, I think Alabama.
John Mechie. Don't forget about
I'm gonna tell you, Alabama is going to lose one game this year. No, they're going to lose 2 games this year. Texas A&M and Auburn. And those
that would be ridiculous. That'd be crazy if they do. You got Auburn versus Miami. I'm picking Alabama by a real 21-28 points, guys. Not going to be too much.
They're an 18.5-point favorite.
I'm taking that bet. Mercer versus Alabama. I'm picking Bama. Bama versus Megan Mullen and Emory Jones. I'm picking.
Yep.
What'd you say, Shrimp?
I said I'm picking Bama for sure.
Yeah. Alabama versus Southern Miss. I'm picking Bama. Sorry, Sippy.
Sorry,
Southern Miss fan.
Yeah.
Got Alabama versus Ole Miss. That's gonna be that's a toss up. I'm not picking that game.
Oh, I thought. Well, you picked that game when when you did Ole Miss, you had Ole Miss beating Alabama.
Yeah, okay, I'm choosing Ole Miss. All right. Ole Miss, I got them upsetting Alabama. Alabama versus Texas A&M, I got Texas A&M beating Alabama. Alabama versus Mississippi State, Alabama's going to wax Mississippi State's tail.
Yeah.
Alabama's going to wax Tennessee.
Tennessee will not have a football team by that time, but if they do, then
they're going to all be working at McDonald's.
Exactly. I don't know why none of them went and got a sponsorship from McDonald's. That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Alabama versus LSU, picking Bama. New Mexico State versus Bama, picking Bama. Arkansas versus Bama, picking Bama. And I'm going to pick Bama against Auburn, but I know Shrimp's picking Auburn to upset them. And I think Vic's got Bama beating Auburn.
Yeah.
So, guys, our first preview of anything, and I think we did a decent job. If you guys are okay with this, Shrimp and Vic, when I end the broadcast, I'm going to set it up to post tomorrow morning.
Awesome.
And we'll see how it does. I would have said, this would have been a rough draft, but this was 55 minutes. And
so we can't we've put too much time into this. So.
Agreed. You good with that, Shrimp?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Let's do it.
Well, guys, it was great having you on. I know Uncle Lou's probably terribly worried where we are right now while we're not in the comment section.
I know, we're a big Tiger and Papa Shrimp. Yeah.
Hey, tell Uncle Lou I got to get up at 5:30 tomorrow morning for work.
Yeah. I'll tell him.
Okay,
definitely, I'll tell him. Guys, thank y'all for jumping on. People, if you do watch this tomorrow and you guys enjoyed this, leave a comment and just let us know if you want us to do your team preview or if you'd like us to do your conference preview or whatever it is. We're going to do more of this and we'll get better at it. It was our very first one, but I need to come up with a catchphrase like the big guys do. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. There we go. And we out. That cool? That works.